Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is April 8th. It's a Monday morning here in the northeast of New England, and I welcome you. My name is Lynn, and I'm your host. So grab a project and let's see what we can get done together in the next 60 minutes. That's all FiberCast is. It's a way for us to commune and get to sew together. So as we go along, and I have a lot to do today in my 60 minutes, as we go along, please do send pictures or notes or comments to lynn@simplycolorful.com, and I will read them and show them back to you. So, surprise! I am here during a weekday, and I'm so excited that I am. And I'll tell you all about why in a minute. But first, behind me is the Disappearing Pinwheel Basket pattern. It's by Jenny Doan at Missouri Star Quilt Company, and this was part of my Marathon Quilters Queen Bee program. Remember that I've talked about over the years or over the months. We've only been doing it this year. So each month, one of us gets to be the queen bee, and we can give a pattern to 6 or 7 others of us. And these are the blocks that the other people made for me. And my directions were, please use, well, first I gave them the pattern, and I wanted them to each make 2 of these blocks. And then I said, let's use green and pink floral, which is kind of a throwback, right? Who sees green and pink floral in their stores these days? But I wanted to do that with white, and I love the look. So I have 6 more to make in order to have 6 of these great big ones. So that's what I'm going to make today. And I've cut out 6 white squares. They're 10 inches by 10 inches, and 6 squares of floral that are 10 inches by 10 inches. And again, if you go to Missouri Star Quilt Company, you can see this pattern in this tutorial. It's in one of the latest block magazines, but I believe Jenny does a tutorial on it, and it's kind of a trick. And I'm excited to get it done. So the first step is I'm going to sew 1 white square and 1 floral square together. Right sides together, and I'm going to sew all around the edges. I'm going to pin it in a couple of places. And let's see. I have my system on. I have my 97D foot. Let's go down to, my quilting stitches. I'm going with a 1303 quilting stitch on my Bernina 570 Quilters Edition. And now I'm going to sew 1/4 of an inch all the way around the edge, keeping it as flat as possible. And hear how when I really go fast on this machine, I'm hearing that tinning sound. I'm not liking that. So in a few weeks, I do think I'm going to go back up to Nashua Quilt and back and get a lesson. It could be I'm not running the right combination of thread or needle, but I don't like that tinny sound that the bobbin is making. So we go around. Who is going to the MQFs up in Manchester, New Hampshire? If anyone out there is interested in machine quilting and learning how to do it, or getting yourself a long arm, it is a great spot to go learn. Chris Myers from Dockside Quilting turned me on to it years ago, and I went a couple of times and just learned. And then, as you know, sorry, that's kind of noisy. I went there 2 years ago and bought my gammal, and ironically, so here it is, right? I've sewn the front and the back. Ironically, I ran into, or I had plans to have lunch with a couple of other people from our guild, both of whom have bought a long arm. Actually, 3 of them. Kelsey Ullman from Blueberry Lane Studios, and Colleen Barnes, as well as Nancy Burdick. They have all bought themselves long arm machines. Okay, so this is not a beautiful job. Look at how close I got to that seam allowance right there. So what I'm going to do, why did that happen? Let's see what size this is. 10 and 10. Okay. My floral is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go back and go in just 1/8 of an inch all the way along. When you're doing piecing like this, it's kind of tricks. You have to learn to accept imperfections. Is all I can describe it, because imperfections get compounded every time you start to cut it across. Oh, and look at this. I didn't count on that. Hang on, I'm going to get my ruler. Okay. Keep on sewing. Here we go. So if you're out there live, that's great. That's exciting. If you're not, then surprise, this might be pre-recorded for Friday because Bob and I are going away tomorrow. And, oh, I love this circular thing. I need to put a link to this circular cutting mat for anyone who wants to buy it. Okay. So, here's what we've done so far. We just cut it lengthwise, and now we're going to iron it open. And I wonder if it tells us which way. No, it doesn't. So I'm just going to iron to the dark side. Anywho, what I was saying was, if you're seeing this for the first time on Friday, know that I recorded it on Monday, and Bob and I are somewhere fun. And we will let you know. And ideally, you'll get 2 episodes. You'll get this one, plus you'll get the one that we broadcast from wherever we end up. Is there nothing like doing patchwork? Okay, so there are those. And I am going to cut off the dog ears. It's not imperative that you do this, but why not? It reduces bulk in theory, and it does a little bit, right? A lot of dog ears will definitely add up to bulk, but the machine quilting does such a good job of going right through bulk that it's really not imperative that you do that, in my opinion. Okay. So now we have all 4 of them. They're in a pinwheel, just like the picture. And now we're going to sew them together. And this is reminding me I didn't put down my dual feed. Oh, come on, babies. That should improve my piecing. And I'm going to web it. What we're doing is we're sewing it together to then be able to cut it up again. There's that. Oh, did we go to a fun potluck last Saturday night? Unfortunately, Bob couldn't come because he was working, but I went with my mother and other family members. That's bizarre. Those aren't equal. Well, it doesn't matter. And it It was a fundraiser for the Fisher Barn Flat Point Farm that burned down in West Tisbury. And by all accounts, it was a raging success. People do come out and support each other in times of need. They filled up the new ag hall with people from across the island. Okay, so now I'm going to go like this. I will pin this. And be careful if you're doing this, when you cut things on the bias, they tend to stretch. So try not to stretch your triangles. The other thing about this machine is it doesn't go over big sets of fabric. So I have to check on that too. I might not be doing something right. I'm still choosing to believe that it's such a sophisticated machine. That's why I'm not able to do these couple of things. Like it should go over these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of cotton very easily. So maybe I don't have my feed dogs upright or something. Anywho, we can try and spin the seam here. What you want to do is, there we go, open it all up. And now let's iron this. Actually, to spin the seam, I'd have to have all of the seams going around the same way, and I don't want to do that, so kind of half spin. That worked. I'll show you. Okay, so there's the first. And then I don't know if you can see that in the center here, spinned. Okay, so now we have that. Kind of want to trim it up. Now what we're going to do is cut it into 9 pieces. So we're going to go joot, 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 joot. Let's see. Okay, so it's 10, 11, 12 and a half right now. Yeah. Just looks like this little piece. Again, because for the purposes of television, I don't have a big measuring mat to really do this right, but I'm just going to assume that we needed to take a little bit off that side. There we go. That looks better. Okay, now let's see. 12 and 5/8. 12 and 5/8. Can you see this? No, not really. Okay. 12 and 6/8. 12 and 6/8. So I'm going to take an 1/8 off this side too. Okay, and now what I want to do is just position this in the middle of my mat. And then we have to divide the 12 12 and 5/8 by 3. So it'll be 4 and 1/8 and a little more. Okay, so clear as mud, we're going to do 4 and 1/8 and a little more. Okay, it's as easy as that. And use your ruler to measure. Don't use your mat. Okay. Okay. So there's that. I'm not even going to pull it apart. I'm just going to go over here. Okay. So this is the fun part. This is where it becomes like a puzzle. So see how we've just split that apart. Now what we do, if you look behind, actually, let me pull one off here. Okay. This is the result of these realigned. Uh-oh. Now look at how off this one is. How did I do that? I did something very wrong, but that's okay. We are going to live with it. Maybe I did. I don't know. I don't know. I thought I'd be clearer on a Monday morning than a Friday evening, which I really am. Okay, let's reorganize it so that it looks like this, but then there's another trick. I want to do a second one so that our pinwheels are not from the same fabric. But let's do first things first. Let us turn this like that, turn this like that, turn that like that. Turn that like that. There's a basket. Isn't that neat? So again, what I want to do now is make a second one and then interchange these pinwheels. Okay. So let's just do this. Okay, so I'll put those there. Now let's do another one. And maybe the maybe the next one will come out a little bit cleaner. Okay. So again, our theme this month is French quilting. And French, country French is what I think of when I think of these. Usually, for me, country French is blue and yellow. Don't know quite why, but it is floral. And this is kind of close to country French, or French country. Again, for anyone out there, and please don't give me a thumbs down. It hurts my feelings, but I can take it. You know, I'm not a teacher or I don't build this as a tutorial. So take any of my history lessons with a grain of salt. It's just what swirls around up here are what I've read recently. So I fell asleep last night to reading a magazine on my iPad. This world is an amazing place. I got it through Overdrive, through the library, and one of the libraries that I belong to online. And it was a article, the New Yorker magazine. It's about, they interviewed married couples and how different marriages can be so different. That's about all I got out of it so far. I fell asleep, but it got my attention. Okay, so there we go. Kind of cool. Let's see if they're anywhere near the same size. It is a rainy day out there here in Massachusetts. Okay. And again, I'm going to cut my dog ears off. So again, this is not, FiberCast isn't like a Nancy Zeman show that has lots of good content, or Fons and Porter, or any of them, really. There are so many good shows out there that I encourage everyone to check out. This is just meant to be our weekly check-in. I'm a machine quilter now, yikes, and full-time, yikes. And this is my opportunity to just check in, say hi, tell you about the various quilts that I have on the frame, show you different motifs that are available. The art of machine quilting continues to evolve as fast as you can imagine. There are some amazing things being done out there, which is why, if you have any interest, go to MQX up in Manchester, New Hampshire. Hopefully they're not sold out. Sometimes their classes get sold out. But FiberCast is just my way to say hi every week. And I love seeing many of you. So we have to do this the right way so that... There we go. We stay in touch. And we periodically do mystery quilts, and we do charm square patterns, right? And in fact, and we have patrons, which I am eternally thankful for. Thank you. For covers the cost of the web hosting. And the mystery quilt patterns, or the charm square pattern that we're doing next month, if you become a patron of Simply Colorful, you get that for free. So we post that right there. And it's just a way to keep things going along. Okay, so I just ironed that so that the seams will nest. Come on, down and up. guess what I really need, I need to start using a stylus. That's all I can remember. Go. See if I need to. Yeah, I can. I lost my 1/4 of an inch seam there. Okay, there's another one. Yay, yay, yay. I also, if I have time before we leave, so I wanted to finish this, then I have some pants here that keep shrinking up. They're not very high-end pants for sure. And so I am going to put some cuffs on them. Huh. Okay, so there's that. Now again, let's see. Maybe we'll do this a little more smartly. Let's see what corner to corner measures. Okay. 6. Huh. Nice and similar. So this just has a little less. Let's do 4 1/4 instead of 4 1/8. That. Okay, this side is 2 1/8, so 4 1/4 should work. Okay, so there we have a second one. And now what I'm going to do is switch these out so that we have this. We're going to make our basket. Oops. And there's another basket with a different pinwheel. So let's put this one together. I'm just webbing it like we always do. I was going to make this pattern for my niece's graduation from college quilt, but I changed my mind because I don't like the imprecision of it. I'm not very good at it. Instead, I'm just going to do simple batik squares, and let the fabric do the work. I have to get that done by middle of May, too. But it's possible now. Oops. Let's see if that is the right. Yeah, that's right. See, that sounds right. There isn't anything jiggling. In the bobbin case. Get rid of all of this. Okay. So here is our webbed piece all sewn together, and now let's see. Go inside and inside, outside, side. And outside. So as always, post what you're working on the Simply Colorful Facebook page. It's the group. You can join the group. Again, no charge for any of this. It's just a way for us to keep connected as we all do what we love to do. And friendships have been made. I can tell you that personally. Open that up. This one. There were daffodils blooming down where my mom is. Crocus. Just beautiful. Oh, we have plans to go see KB in Pennsylvania this month. So stay tuned for that. It'll be fun to see her and one of her bestest friends ever, Katie. Okay, so there's one, and I'm gonna iron this. Oh, it doesn't lie flat. We are going to do a tight all over quilting pattern on this quilt with the long arm because, oh, here we go. Okay, so where do we want to put this one? Let's put this one up like that. We'll put this one back. Okay. Whoops. Let's get this one ready to go. Okay. Another one. I wonder how many of you, oh, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, check this out. See how different these two pieces are? They're the same difference as these two pieces, so I'm going to switch them. We're going to trick the eye so that these two pieces line up beautifully on that side of the basket, and these two pieces line up beautifully. That's a little bit of an improvement that I hadn't thought of. Okay, so now we'll open this up, open up, open up. There we go. Okay. Here. Okay, so let's finger press these into the center. Finger press these out to the side. Side and to the side. Okay. Okay, I'm turning this over. I'm redoing that because the seams caused me to veer away from my 1/4 inch seam. See how it couldn't even go over that hill? That's not good. Okay. There's that. Oh boy. This has to be done by our June meeting. So I'm just making it into a lap quilt, as you can see. And it does look stunning, sort of from afar, because you can't see how the seams don't line up. So I'm good with it. But if you saw it up close, you'd be horrified. Okay, let's get this ready. Give it one good press. And I will show you this up close and you can see how bad. It could be worse, I guess. Okay, there's another one. So this part is quite far off. Fortunately, these match up because but this is much skinnier than that one. Anyway, there's another one. Let's put this, where we put this. Yeah. Oops. Okay, so we have 4 more to do. It's looking good. Let's look up, maybe if anyone's out there, I'll see you. And let's look up French country, just for kicks. Oh, this is good. Verizon just wrote to me and said, you now have travel pass. Which means, so Bob and I are going to bring our phones to this mystery location, and we're going to put them on airplane mode, so no cellular charges, and take off data roaming and all that. But then if we find we need it, say for a map for navigation or an emergency, I guess we can receive incoming text. So someone can text me, us, and either of us if there's an emergency. But then if we open up and say, okay, we want to use our phone, it'll only be $10 for 24-hour, that 24-hour period. So it's kind of like insurance. So anyway, they just sent me a text and said that was good. Okay, let's look up French country decor. That's what we want. Okay, so again, we're going down to Provence in south of France, like we did last week when we talked about the trapunto-like effects that they achieve. Inspired by the stunning homes in Provence, French country design often incorporates ruffles, distressed woodwork, mixed patterns, and both vibrant and subdued hues. Okay. Yeah, lots of whitewashed. I'm going to go to House Beautiful. 19 French country style rooms that will take your breath away. Oh, they are. Okay, and I will show these to you in a minute. It says, if you feel like there's a certain je ne sais quoi about French country decor, allow us to break it down for you. This style is all about natural materials, muted colors, toile fabrics, extravagant lighting, touches of gold, tapestries, and more, all with a rustic touch. Here we gather 19 stylish examples of French country style, from modern interpretations and eclectic visions to classic renditions. And this is from House Beautiful. So let's see if I click on it. Well, here's a living room. Don't you love how they include the dog too? That cracks me up. Everything is better with dogs and babies. Oh, look at that. How cool is that? I'm sorry if you can't see this. If you can't see it, so that's cool. If you can't see it, go to housebeautiful.com. Ooh, I'm liking French country. Look at that. Oh, huh. I may get some inspiration. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that kitchen look like you could whip up something amazing? Julia Child could whip up something beautiful there. So could my husband. Oh, and then, of course, we have the art. Almost done. Oh, exposed beams, distressed wood floors, colorful textiles, antique pictures. Here's a more modern take. Oh, look at this. I love that. I love how they painted the actual cabinets the blue, and they kept the walls the off-white. Anyway, that is French country decor and design. Let's look at toile, just for kicks. Let's look up toile. T-O-I-L-E. Not toilet, I want toile. Okay. A translucent linen or cotton fabric used for making clothes. Toile is a fabric from the French word meaning linen, cloth, or canvas, particularly cloth or canvas for painting on. The word toile can refer to the fabric itself, or a test garment, generally sewn from the same material, or a type of repeated surface decoration, traditionally printed on the same fabric. Oh, and here's a whole video on how to pronounce toile, but we won't look at that. I just want to see how that's, and it's often monotone, like that's blue and white with various country scenes. Blue and white, red and white. You can make it, it can be wallpaper. Here's one with phone booths. That's kind of different. I think that's what that is. Anyway, T-O-I-L-E. Okay. Well, you get the idea. This is what we're working on in the Simply Colorful Studio. It is the disappearing pinwheel basket. Again, I have 4 more to do here. And then next time I see you, it should be all sewn together and hopefully inspires you to do something creative today. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.